I was watching the video from yesterday and I noticed that there is some dripping here, which is possibly electrolyte from a electrolytic. So we'll take that out and have a look inside. Maybe there is an electrolytic exploded, which would explain that this thing goes wild at some point. Anyway, just guessing. Let's take it out. Yeah, we can see there was something dripping. Either it was moisture dripping on that corner, or it's something inside. So let's take it out and have a look. Now we can see some corrosion here, and it's got a pressure mark as well. Yeah, but it's not visible when it's on. So got the nuts out. Let's take it out. Well, that was nothing. That's just the DC-DC converter for the backlight. But it looks okay. There's a few tantals here, but there's nothing on the input. So that's not causing it. However, now the coil looks good. Looked a bit odd here, but the coil is okay. We need to check if that is just on the surface here, the corrosion, or something went underneath. But the back looks good. There's no visible corrosion. So we need to search in this area here. There are quite a few possibilities. I think we just take the board out again, and then we'll start taking capacitors out, and obviously the power supply. Okay, let's put that back together and carry on. Well, that's 50 millivolts per division. I can't trigger it, it's so bad. There's quite a bit of noise on it. You can see there's something here. Just trying to find a trigger mode which may work. It's so bad. Here you go. And that's when the fan kicks in. I don't know if that was visible, but yeah, it's a very complex waveform. It's pretty hard to trigger. I can't get it triggered, no way. And that's the ripple of the power supply. That's 100 millivolts. That's not too bad. It's more that ripple when the fan comes on. Anyway, I took the capacitor out to see a bit more of it, but at least the display is a bit brighter now because I cleaned the window. Alright, all fine. We'll carry on searching. In the meantime, we also changed some capacitors in the power supply, mainly this one, which is very close to the heatsink, and the other one as well. This one I changed as well because that's the 5 volt capacitor. It was sort of okay. They always sort of okay. They had a little bit high ESR, but you know, depends, because this thing hasn't been used for a while. So I could not find any really dead capacitor, which was really bad. So perhaps that behavior is normal. I was just concerned that display is changing intensity when the fan comes on. Anyway, so the power supply appears to be fine. There is another one underneath, but that's only I think it's 24 volts or something like that, or 15 volts, 3 amps for all the pumps and all the other stuff. That's not related actually. It's this one which does 5 volt plus minus 15. I think that's it, 5 and plus minus 15. Yeah. It didn't make any change. I tried it, and the voltage, the ripple is a bit less, but it's not really. Anyway, so we finally found something. That through-hole contact is completely corroded away. I can I have conductivity till here, but there is nothing here. So, and if I scrape here, there's no copper left. So that's a bit of a problem, because it's right under the EEPROM. Pull the EEPROM and see how it looks underneath. Hopefully we can get there. Yeah, it's not the first time things like that happening. Seen that before, but that makes sense because I think it's one of the EEPROM lines, and obviously it's reading garbage then. Let's see if we can fix it. There's quite a bit of corrosion in the socket here as well. Unfortunately, these are closed sockets, so I don't know, probably cut it. Just cut it away. Yeah, I was hoping that they get an opening here, but they haven't. So all I can do is actually cutting this thing away, because I'm not able to find which one goes where. And if we look at the EEPROM, we can see there is quite some corrosion here as well. So let me short it. That leg is actually green here, so we may have a contact issue as well. So best thing would be pulling the socket, but it's a double-sided board. That's not fun. Probably do more damage than fixing at the end. It looks like there's some corrosion here as well. Well, we need to fix that one line. That's the biggest problem for now. Let me think what we're gonna do. I try not to pull that socket because all you can do is cut the plastic out and then pull each pin separately, put a new one in. But yeah, that's our problem here. Maybe others, I don't know. Yeah, all caused by probably that battery. Maybe other things as well, maybe some moisture, but it's all green, so it was the battery most likely. Anyway, we'll see what we can do. So we did some cutting here. We just need to make a diagonal cut so we can take that plastic part out, because I cannot see where that goes. I have an idea, it may be here, but I'm not sure. The other one, this one, I found that one that goes to that resistor, and we can make a bridge underneath, but with the other one I can't see where it goes, so I need to get that thing out. It doesn't harm, it's don't know why they use these sockets, but yeah, just used one of these here. It's actually quite nice. Came with one of these Dremel kits, and if you do it carefully, should work. Alright, let's cut that off and see what's underneath. I don't expect anything good. Looks like this is a fake. It comes out here, but the bus is going across here and across here, and this is the other one, so it can only go here, but this pin I need to check with a spec sheet, but this pin is not connected on all the three EEPROMs. I need to check with the spec sheet, and I cannot see a trace going from here elsewhere, because it can only go here, nowhere else. Otherwise it would cross the other tracks. There's another one here, down here, that ends in nowhere. It's actually a through-hole contact, but it doesn't go anywhere. I try to snatch away as much as possible, and I cannot see a track going to here. It wouldn't make sense, because if you look here, I don't know if it's visible, it comes along here and goes down on the other side. But if they want to go to this pin, why not going this way? So this is a dead end. It doesn't do anything. All the trouble for nothing. It comes from here and goes here. I need to figure out what it is. At the moment I'm stuck because yeah, we need to make this to this one to this end. We just pull a wire, so this is safe, but I'm still struggling with this one here because it actually comes from that. What is that? That's a PAL or something, or a prom, I don't know, but it doesn't go anywhere. It just ends up here. I need to check with the EPROMs, but I don't think so. Except it is the right. No, they are EPROMs. They're not EEPROMs. Look at that. They are ceramics. So I don't know what size is. 512 maybe. And yeah. Anyway, late. Enough for today. Carry on tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Until next time.